Hey, I'm John Harkness, and in this video we're going to talk about how to set the pixel scale for the images that you're going to analyze using PIPSQUEAK. In the image and setting video, we have a longer look at some of the other settings of PIPSQUEAK, but here we're going to focus on just how to set the image scale. So this is the first of 4 screens in our settings, and we can see two things right off the bat. First, we have dimensions of the images that we are opening in PIPSQUEAK. This first number here is something that you're going to have to determine from your microscope camera.
It is the physical distance in microns per pixel that your microscope camera is capturing. And so this is really important because it tells PIPSQUEAK the area of an ROI that's being collected, and also is incorporated into some of the intensity calculations. So you're going to want to make sure that you get the correct number for your images in order to determine these things correctly. And so next, we're going to go on and actually take a look at how to collect that information from your microscope camera. And the first way that we can look at doing that is the most common way out there, and that's by actually placing a scale bar onto one of the images that you collect. So here we're looking at the LAS software package that we use with our Leica confocal microscope. And so what we can do is use the scale bar tool to place a scale bar directly onto the image. This is an image that's only going to be used for the scale calculation. And so what you want to do is just make a fairly straight line here. And I'm going to make this one about 100 microns long. And then we're going to go and we're just going to export this image as a TIFF file. Making sure to incorporate the overlays and the ROIs, the ROI here being the scale bar. And so we can save it. And then open it in ImageJ. What we're going to do is determine the length of that scale bar that we put onto our image in pixels. So I can take the image that I collected and I'm going to open it in Fiji. And I can see the scale bar there. Next, I want to go over to the straight line tool, select that, and go back to my image, and I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to draw a line just the length of that scale bar. I want to get about as close as I can, and when I do that, I'm now going to go up to Analyze, Set Scale. And here I'm going to enter the distance of that scale bar. So it's about 100 microns long, and we're going to change that unit length to microns. And so when we do that, this is going to set the scale of the image, but it's also telling us a little bit about the ratio here. So we're seeing that for every 100 microns across an image, we are moving 88 pixels across an image, and that's really the ratio that we want to know. So what we're going to have to do is a little bit of high calculus here, and we're going to calculate 100 microns in 88 pixels, and so that gives us a ratio of 1.136 approximately microns per pixel. And so that's the number that we want to hold on to for PIPSQUEAK and enter back into our settings window in PIPSQUEAK. So this is the most common way to calculate the scale of your image, and if you Google it, this is probably what you're going to find. But you can see the inaccuracies that can show up in placing that line across your scale bar, just because I could be a little bit off here or there. Which might not be a huge problem, but there is a way that we can do this more accurately, and I'm going to show you that back on our microscope. So this could be a potential avenue for you as well. A better way to determine the distance in pixels of your images is to go to your microscope computer and have a look at the parameters that you've set up there. So here we're using the Leica LAS software package again, and I've actually imported one of my images, and so here I can see in the acquired settings I'm acquiring an image size of 181.25 microns square and formatted at 512 pixels square. So we can also see that down at the bottom of our image. Here I can see the 581.25 microns, and if we click over, you can also see that setting in pixels. So what we want to do is take these two numbers and again just do a bit of high calculus, and we'll see we'll do 581.25 microns divided by 512 pixels, and that gives us, off the top of my head, 1.135 microns per pixel. So you can see this is very close to what we had just calculated using the scale bar method, but this is probably a little bit more exact because these numbers are coming straight out of the images. There's a trick here. We can also find that number in the acquisition settings here at the pixel size, and you can see it's rounded it up to 1.14 microns. So this is a great number that we can take straight back into our PIPSQUEAK settings.
Okay, and that does it for setting the pixel scale in PIPSQUEAK. If you want to know more about the other settings and features of PIPSQUEAK, you can check out the intro and settings video. I also have some good tutorials on how to do single and double label analysis that you can find back at the labs.wsu.edu/sorg website. Thanks for watching.